all your journeys and like discovering who you are. And I'd also like to talk about some people in your life that may have helped or that you see as an ally in some way. If I don't like, could I ask you, is that throwing you into it too much? Or, but like, could you talk to me about like how you came to like understand who you are, and or if you, even feel weird asking that because like, I never had to, like, it might have been something you always known.
Yeah, I definitely did always know. I'd say by the time I was like 14, I had came out as like openly gay. But I was just like, I mean, I didn't know trans was a thing until I was like really like 15 or 16. Right. So it was like, that was the term that I thought to use to describe myself because it fit best for like the position I was in the world, you know?
Very similarly to what you said, like I grew into myself as a woman and I accepted that this is just who I am, and I came out as gay, and that was really hard because I just didn't have the words to say. I didn't know what trans was. I didn't know that was allowed.
Yeah, and this is the thing, it's like both with language and with like representation in the media, then people like us, we don't see ourselves described in the media, and that means we think that we shouldn't exist or we don't have the language to understand how we exist.
And when people say there's nobody describing me in the media, I'm like, what are you talking about? I find it rather weird in a time that almost everybody on Netflix is, I don't know, gay or whatever. I'm like, yo, when I was a child and I watched Transformer, nobody cared if Transformer was blue, green or whatever. We all just wanted to be a robot. It's the way men see ourselves in specific character, just like I saw myself in Spider-Man because he was just funny. He wasn't black, he didn't do anything, he just cared about people. I resemble with that. I resemble what's in the inside. Why are we focusing so much on the outside?
And it's really harmful because we're just continuing the system of like how things should be.
Yeah, I mean, for a while, I kind of was like in this like middle ground is what it felt like, just kind of at a standstill. And I remember telling one of the girl skiers on my team, like, oh, like, I feel like this. Like, I feel like I should be a boy. And they were telling me, like, that doesn't seem right. Like, that just isn't right. And I'm like, but, okay. And I kind of went with that because that just wasn't something at the time, like, my parents taught me or, like, that I had access to learning. And I think that's something so valuable, especially for trans kids now, that there's more people that they can go to or, like, there's more trans youth around for them to kind of...
Yeah, but that's a little more affirming in a specific way because it's actually cool to do that. I remember there was an issue that I had a lot of social issues, right? And I could not speak with ladies as a normal person. And I went to read the book that was very famous in the 2000 or almost 2000, Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. And I've read it like an idiot. And the more I read that book, the qualities that men are supposed to have, I noticed I had way more quality as a woman. And I talked about it with my friends about the situation. They didn't tell me that you're a feminine man, bada beam, bada bam boom. They just said, yes, we know that. You're a great talker, you're a great listener, and most ladies felt very comfortable talking to me about specific stuff. And I had issues talking to men about specific stuff. Now it balanced out. But nobody affirmed me to do something that I need to change my body. They just said you need to try to find the best quality that you can exploit from yourself without the acknowledgement of them. So you need to have actually respectable people that don't think they have an agenda by justifying you to do a specific thing. Sadly, I don't think a lot of people have good friends because these days you cannot sit with a friend that has a different ideology and eat at the same table because it's almost impossible. We're so separated. Add this gender stuff, oh my god. Hey man, that's like your life is a piñata. Bam, 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 bam. Make the right choice. Bam.
For me, I have finally like tapped into this part of my mind when it was like, you always knew you were a girl and you tried so hard to be this feminine being you know you are, while still identifying as something that you aren't. And the moment that I like came to that realization, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And a week later, I started hormones. And that was 3 years ago. Now I'm here.
Where are all the people that experienced this and it balanced out and they stayed the specific gender they were? Because it's super high. A lot of people that are thought they were trans women or trans men, it's a dysphoria. And they switch back. It's like something like 80 or 90%. It's very high. You don't need to help them affirm something. You need to broaden their view so they can affirm it by themselves. If you want to affirm everything, that's like telling a child, do whatever you want.
We are put into spaces where we're taught things and like, this is what it is. There is no way around it. There is no in-betweens. There is nothing other than what we have told you is reality. Live by it or fail.
You're not talking about the possibility that something might happen in your past, a trauma, and you don't acknowledge it.
Once you go through that process of unlearning, you start to tap into so many different things, not even just about your gender, about like the type of style you like or the food that you like to eat or like the way you like to wear your makeup, any little thing, but it's all about unlearning the things that have been put in front of you to tell you who you are.
I feel like she's telling me you have been eating all the food that your parents made you forever from a specific culture, and today we are going to a free buffet and you can eat everything you want. You're gonna eat a lot, but you're not gonna find a new favorite food because there's always going to be another option. So you're gonna eat a lot of sugar, and then the salty one is gonna be very delicious sometime. And then with time, the salty one is gonna be very delicious compared to the sugary one. It's gonna be cling clang, cling clang, clong. I don't mind that. It's fun. But if you want to go cling clang with dysphoria, which usually leads to you taking hormones that's going to affect your decision and then doing certain things to your body that is permanent, it does makes me think like, yo man, maybe you're playing way more with fire than you think. And if you don't even see that, I'm like, okay, you do your thing. The main problem is when you push this then at school to kids.
I'm only 11 years old. How do I know I'm a girl? And I need more time to think about this.
But there are also people who do have like a slightly condescending but well-meaning attitude of like, well, people are young and like, how do we, you know, it is a huge decision. I'd love to hear from all of you about like why we can trust kids to like tell us who they are.
I don't understand why I can't just decide that I'm a girl. If it's a big decision to decide I'm a girl, it's a big decision to decide I'm a boy.
Right.
It's the same thing. There's no age. You don't have to be 18 to decide that, oh, I am who I am.
I think we don't give children enough credit for coming into this world and having a sense of purity and understanding for themselves. Like, I definitely had that at a very young age, and I tried to express that a lot, but I grew up in like a very stereotypically Christian family.
Okay.
Ooh. So like me telling my mom any type of me being different was like, oh my God, like literally she called my grandma and they prayed over me. I was like 7. I was
That's
like
intense.
7.
So, and if a kid is having a specific issue and suddenly we need to pray to Jesus, rah, 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 you freaking traumatize the kid, and that is like a benchmark when they gain the level. So you can mess up your kid by giving a specific moment too much attention. They dressed my son like a princess. My wife went to pick him up. When my wife was going, I told her, hey, do not explode. Do not ask why they dressed him, bada beam, bada boom. Just ask the kid, how did you dress, and see how he responds, and then we will talk it out at home. You don't have to do anything, but do not make a big deal because the kid will remember that as a benchmark, as if they level up. So you don't want them to stay there to be like, oh, what did I do wrong? Because then they're going to walk in society judging people with them eyes, and you focus too much on something that is not supposed to be that important in his life unless he chooses to make it important. It can be important for him, but something or reaction makes it even worse. Hey son, what happened today? You dressed or you did something cool? He was like, yes mama, I dressed like a king. A 3-year-old. That's it. That's it. A 3-year-old that likes pink, but he likes dump trucks. But they picked the one thing, like, oh, he likes pink, well, maybe he's a treasure. I said, nah, honey, shut up, don't say anything. And that's it. And sometimes, just like this girl, when they prayed for them, maybe she just liked a specific thing. Maybe she just wanted to explore a specific thing. Just drink a little tea with that social construct stuff. But you labeled it in a specific way. And now you have this situation, something that you never saw coming.
When I was a kid, I was very, very feminine. Since I was like little, I was obsessed with like princesses. I dressed up as Cinderella for Halloween when I was like 3, with like glass slippers and clip-on earrings and a dress and everything.
Like actual glass slipper? No,
Plastic
well
glass.
done. Well, good, full look.
Some people just want to play with specific things just because there is not such a challenge. But to let it control your whole life, I think it's a little disingenuous. That's why they told me for a long time, or at least for almost a year, you're not allowed to talk to girls anymore. I was like, why? It says, well, you need to learn to talk to girls and boys. And it pissed me off. And once I started doing it a lot more, I noticed that my attitude changed a little. And one day I was like, hey man, I'm a big boy, just almost 1 year later. And I started talking to girls again. Did I get punished? No. They were like, well, now you have the balls to talk to both. And you broke the rule, and we respect that. Keep doing your thing. You see? It's all about helping them find a balance. That's what we're supposed to do with kids, not affirming.
Yeah, and I actually went back and asked my parents about this because I was kind of confused what changed. And my mom said that her dad came to visit from Pakistan, and he told her, why are you letting your kid, play with dolls and dress up this way? He's gonna turn gay. And there was that stereotype at the time, and potentially still is, of like, if mothers like coddle their child too much, they will turn out gay. And so that kind of made her want to toughen me up. I also kind of...
Yeah, that it can mess up with your head. I've never felt attracted to men, but being taken care of by almost like 9 aunties, it does affect your brain on how you have to approach people, and you do not want to take a risk to do anything to break that circle of love because you feel so isolated, The only way I could feel free, I actually had to choose to study outside of my own country and just be able to explore myself. And it was good because even exploring myself as a cis man, how I reacted around a bunch of women, I felt like I was in a prison.
I mean, we talk about gender as a social construct and a lot of things as, constructs of society. And I think those things were constructed, to develop a hierarchy, to develop superiority and inferiority. I mean, those social constructs of gender and, they kind of feed, I guess, a need for power and a need to be above others.
Well, I don't want to make the video too long, but I find it rather weird that if you think those rules of social construct are so negative, because somebody might feel better or whatever, go to the kitchen, go hunt, you might die and all those stuff. I'm like, okay, then why are you still trying to become one of those social constructs to justify the thing that you're not? If you think social construct is so bad, then find yourself. Don't use the social construct to decide, well, I hated this because I had the choice I didn't like. Because it delves into situations that sometimes I like to do specific things, right? And immediately specific people in the LGBTQ think I'm freaking gay. It happens so many times, and am I Barcelona is freaking gay over here. And sometimes I just like to talk respectfully with people because even as a Christian, I just respect people. And suddenly, oh, I think you're gay. Why? Why? Just because I'm friendly and respectful, the conversation has to go in that way? By the fact that you say that, now I don't even want my kids to be near you, because if my kids are copying my action, and if they say, hey, nice, are we going to have an issue? It's like, it's weird. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about the situation. Let me know what you like, if you like longer videos that I react to this stuff, because I can make shorts long, man, I'm always a little confused about it. But hey, sometimes I like to listen and just give my opinion. Anyway, like, share, hit the bell notification, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Peace. Convida-me a tua iniciativa, padrei ku indica e também que sum sativa. Te ainda não quer aceitar ku eta medicina, Bob D nang di eta causa rebeldia.